Latice is a game of abstract strategy. You play tiles on a board and you match tiles by color and or by shape. Not something you have never heard of before. It's a very well-known mechanic, so let's see how it is implemented here. Also, it is a game that I knew virtually nothing about. I discovered it by chance. It was suggested to me by Amazon, and I decided that I will try it. Now, Latice. Let's see how it works, and the production also. The production is pretty interesting. The quality is pretty high. The game comes in this box here, and it comes with 4 holders, so holders that you use to keep your tiles. Each player will have a pool of 5 tiles during the game, so pretty nice that you have those. You have a board that you see here, and you have the tiles that are the real protagonists of the story here. These tiles have symbols that identify the tile by color and by symbol, like the purple salamander, the blue turtle, the green flower, the yellow bird, and various combinations of symbols and colors. These are plastic tiles, so they feel nice actually. They feel much more interesting from the tactile point of view than I would have expected. I expected these to be just like, like, I don't know, how can I say it? Too smooth or like easy, too slippery, but no, actually they're kind of nice to manipulate, to handle. Now, the tiles that you get in the game are gonna be shuffled together face down and then divided in various groups. Each player will get a pool of tiles of equal number. It's important that everybody starts with the same number of tiles because the game is won by removing all of your tiles from your pool. The first player who has no tiles left in their pool is the winner of the game. So it's important that everybody gets the same amount of tiles. There are also bags that come with the game, so you can dump your tiles in the bag instead of having to keep them in face down stacked in front of you. But strangely enough, for a game that can be played up to 4 players, only 2 bags came, so you're gonna use them only if you have 2 players. Other than that, again, it will be stacks of face down tiles by each player. Gameplay simplicity itself. When it is your turn, the main thing that you will do and that you will want to do is to put tiles down. The youngest player starts and puts a tile down in the middle of the board. Then the next player goes and places a tile adjacent to it, matching color and or shape. That would be, for example, matching color and shape. I mean, matching color, that is a match with color. And if you do not like your tiles, your pool of tiles, or for any reason you cannot place a tile on the board, then you can simply swap any number of your tiles from your present pool of 5 with an equal number of tiles from your bag. And you do that instead of placing tiles on the board. If you have fewer than 5 tiles in your hand, in your personal pool at the end of the game, you draw, at the end of the game, at the end of the turn, you draw an extra tile, so you go back to 5. Now, these are the basic rules, the basic idea, which may not seem all that interesting, but lucky enough there are a couple of other wrinkles to it that make things more interesting. For example, there are wind tiles. These wind tiles can be used to move a previously played tile, and the tile is moved to an adjacent space in any of the 4 orthogonal directions. Everything is orthogonal in this game, nothing happens diagonally. The other, even more interesting thing is that there will be moves that allow you to gain stones. These are called sunstones, so we should call them full stones, as opposed to these are the stones here, which are half stones. It takes 2 such stones to perform the same effect as a sunstone / full stone. And what is the effect? Is that when you play a sunstone, you get an extra move. So that is super important because it allows you to go through your personal pool of tiles faster than other players. So you're putting tiles down, gaining these stones, so you get extra moves and you reduce your pool of tiles faster. How do you get the stones? So, well, you get the stones if you play a tile that matches by color or by shape 2 other tiles. Suppose that this is the situation on the board. I can play the feather there because it matches the shape. I can play this dolphin here because it matches the color. And then, let's get a little more up close. And then if I play this dolphin here, it's legal because it's matching the color there and the shape here, and I just placed a double, that is a tile that matches by color or by shape other two tiles, so it matches other shapes by from two sides. And when I do that, I get a half stone. Per se, not useful yet, but if I have two of them, then I can use them as a single stone, and so I can perform an extra move. If I put down a tile that matches by color or shape three sides, then it is even better, because then I get a full stone. Suppose, for example, that this is the case. Legal because it matches the color, legal because it matches the shape. Now if I'm placing this tile here, I'm matching three sides and I get a full stone, so I get an extra move. If you manage to match a tile from four sides, suppose that for whatever reason that is the situation, just to show an example. If I place this tile here, then I'm matching four sides and I get two such stones. I also get a stone, a full stone, if I place a tile on a sun square. And if you cannot use the wind to move tiles there, because that would be too easy. It almost feels like cheating. If you honestly place a tile there because you can, because it is legal, then you immediately get a sunstone. And this is really all that the game is about. Put down your tiles. You need at least a match to be able to place a tile. If you create multiple matches, you get half stones, full stones. You spend those to get extra moves, so you go through your pool faster than otherwise, and the first player that does this efficiently enough to get rid of all of their tiles before the other players is the winner of the game. And this, in essence, is Latice. This is really all that there is. It is a simple game and has a certain almost retro feel to it. It really feels like an old school family game. But I would say some of those old school family games just weren't all that good. And this one is a game that's not earth-shattering, it doesn't feel revolutionary, in any way, but it's good. It's a well-cooked recipe. It is not gourmet food, but it is not fast food either. It is a game of good quality from all points of view. The production is really nice. Clearly, there was an eye to the material components, making sure that they were both pleasant and practical, which they are. The mechanics are very simple, linear. There's a certain cleanness to the design, and this is what makes it so flexible. And clearly it's a game that you can play with many different types of people. You can play with families, with young kids. The rules are simple enough that you can play with children. You can play with non-gamers when the relatives come to visit. They see this box is not threatening like the box of games that we as gamers play with, elves, monsters, Lord of the Rings stuff, as you can see there. This is non-threatening. The uncle that is coming to visit may not want to play a game called Temple of Elemental Evil with monsters on the cover, but this abstract games feel non-threatening, so they can appeal to anybody. There's no theme, there is no story, which is of course a limitation if that is what you're looking for. But for a simple, clean entertainment, for a family game that up to 4 players can play, then Latice is definitely a good game. Not a great game, not a phenomenal game, but it's really good. It's pleasant, it is entertaining. It is not ambitious, and I think it achieves its non-ambitious goals of being a nice, approachable family game. Super simple, but still with enough decisions, with enough elements to it to make it interesting.